I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. The memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best. Yes, painting pictures for the culture. Keep the brushes.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to All About Sports, the podcast. Now, I'm Mazhar here today, and I have Aniket with me as well. But we have a very, very special guest, a dear friend of mine, Mohitraj Singh. Now, for all of you who don't know who Mohit is, he is a very, very unique athlete. And by unique, I mean he's a mixed martial artist. He's a professional mixed martial artist, and he has represented India at the highest level as well, and in fact won several tournaments. Now, just to introduce Mohit a bit more in detail, he is the founder of Whole 9 Yards, that's W9Y. Now, that's an MMA Academy he has set up in Mumbai in India. He has an overall experience of over 10 years in martial arts, combat training, fitness, and wellness. And over the last 6 years, his primary focus has been in helping people with different physical abilities overcome their fears through training programs. Now, Mohit has trained at several international organizations, including an MMA clinic in London, American Top Team. Now, for all of you who don't know what American Top Team is, I'll just tell you some of the athletes they have. Dustin Poirier, the man who knocked out Conor McGregor not even a month back. We're talking about Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We're talking about Amanda Nunes. We're talking about Joanna Jacek, Tyron Woodley, some of the biggest UFC athletes that have ever been in that octagon. Mohit has trained with some of these top athletes in the past. He's also trained at the PEPT Academy in Australia and several other international bodies. Now, coming to his accolades, I can go on and on, but the one thing that really stands out about Mohit is he finished second in the World MMA Championships in Russia in Freestyle Cage Fighting, if I'm not wrong. Right, Mohit?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He also finished second in the Asian Championships at the FCF. He has a gold at the National Kickboxing Tournament in India. He has a gold at the National Mashtido Championship as well. He's the winner of FCC, that's the Full Contact Championship, which is India's largest running pro MMA fight network. He won FCC 09 and 10. So Mohit, I think your accolades speak enough about your experience in the octagon. We've seen some of your fights. We've seen those killer one kick knockouts to the head as well. So many TKOs which should have been called earlier. But Mohit, I think everyone will be keen on knowing and understanding your route or path to deciding that, okay, I want to pursue MMA professionally and potentially one day make it to the UFC, which was a long-term dream, I remember, for you. So give us a bit of your background in terms of what elevated you to that next level and what was the true motivation behind it as well.
Okay, so I'll take the second part first. What was my motivation? So, like any other, young teenager, I was very hyper, and obviously a lot of other, personal issues that we were growing up with, etc., etc. So I had only one way to channelize it, which was, self-care. It was my yoga, and for getting my frustration out, everything else. It was my athletics, my martial arts, and everything. But I didn't know that I was actually pretty decent till about 18. Until about 17 and a half, when I started doing those fights and knocking people out and out. And I was like, okay, wow, okay, this is good. Without trying so much, I'm doing pretty decent. So then I started putting in like decent effort, and I think my growth shot up miraculously. Like within 6 months, I had already like 3 to 4 knockouts and this and that, and it just kept on growing from there. But I think when I was 6 years back or 6 years back, I had a shoulder surgery because, I mean, wrong way to punch, coaches wouldn't guide, and like the rehab and so many other things that now I know that how I would want to train my fighters or myself, but no one was, training that way when I needed the support with respect to my shoulder rotator cuff surgery and everything. So I had to undergo surgery. And obviously, as everyone knows, after the surgery, every athlete is like done, So, I mean, it's still here. These two, it was like very crazy. And it was so sad that you would go back to the same place where you would train, you would meet such people, and just because you are you don't look the same, you look obviously a lot weaker because okay, one hand is like gone. But people were like, okay, like I think you're done now, you're a 20-year-old fit kid, you will rehab and come back and all. But yeah, and all my Asian championship, my national kickboxing or world championship or the other fights in London and all were after my surgery. And I think, I mean, all my motivation was mainly because I was bullied a lot in school. And I understood that, okay, like I have to sort of motivate myself and get myself back up to, however I need to go. But after that, after understanding and growing more in myself with respect to yoga and everything, like see now because of Corona, yoga has become damn famous and everyone like, yes, I want to do. But like lot of famous martial artists and all, like even the Gracie family and all, they're so much into understanding jujitsu and the blend with yoga and like the way it, like just takes you up. So I understood that, okay, fighting is amazing. And yes, to answer your question, that maybe someday I would want to go to ONE FC, Bellator, UFC, but that is become like a secondary goal to me right now. Primary is like to, help underdogs such as myself who don't have the luxury that I had. Maybe my parents were very nice. I had a decent family. I could run and just pursue what I wanted to pursue day in and day and night. Even that takes courage, I understand. But it also is a luxury, right? So whoever doesn't have, we have started all these programs. We are trying to take, funding from people, who believe in the same idea, and just, don't give it to me, give it to those, kids who want to either fight or either take part into competitions or just get there in a decent level of fitness. Even the assistant coaches I have or anyone who's in my field, I give them only this one thing, that it's not going to be like, it's not going to be like very simple and easy that, okay, we'll come and I'll put you in some fight in London, which I might go and fight. We'll talk about that later. I might fight in London by I think November, December again. So let's see if that happens. It'll be fun. But I tell them the same thing that, it's not about, just randomly showing up and just training. And, one day you'll fight and, you'll become the next McGregor or something. It's not going to be that easy. But it's just about understanding what kind of effort you want to put in this time, because it's not like, let's agree, okay, it's not a very big life we have. Athletes have a very short life. So I mean, even if you want to pursue your dream and take it for a while, you need to understand how much you want to take it and what your restrictions are and everything. So I'm trying to do what I can for people who are attached to my academy, or whatever a social work I can do from my side. And I think, yeah, just a lot of education needs to be done. A lot of educating different people. Random coaches come up to me, man, like when I'm taking my interviews for my teachers and all these big buffed up guys, and they're like, I have done boxing in school. I said, oh wow, amazing, but I don't think you know boxing, because you need to get hit in the face, okay, and then how it feels and what bobbing or weaving is and everything. But so much education, man. And people also in, I don't know how it is abroad. I mean, a little bit I know, but in India now, a lot of people want everything given to them at a platter, that, oh wow, okay, Mohit has W9, man, please give me everything you have. I said, okay, awesome, I will give. But I want blood, sweat, and money. These three things, you need to have it, you know. But yeah, man, it's a long journey. I know that impact takes a long time. That's why my personal goal is a little secondary now. And the impact will take time. In the next 10 years, yes, I'm sure that I'll be, I mean, I don't want to say some egoistic dialogue right now, but yes, I think it'll be worth it. I'm sure what I'm doing right now.
Mohit,
So, yeah.
what I just heard you speak about, like one thing which really resonates with me, or rather sits at the back of my mind most of the times whenever most people are critiquing athletes, right, is that athletes actually have a very short career. Your career is not
Yeah.
going to go on for a very long time. Dana White, even he said, if I'm not wrong, in context of Anderson Silva, like I should not have let him
Hmm.
fight, or I don't think he should be fighting at the age he is. And this you're talking about one of the
Yeah.
greats of UFC, right? We're talking about one of
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
to have ever done it, and that's the context in which you get spoken about. Like you should not be fighting up after a certain point. But this is where my question is, like, of all the sports I've ever witnessed, MMA is probably the most brutal one. Like, you have you have a chance to get your shin broken, your arm popped out. So I mean, just a casual injury in MMA is probably someone's worst nightmare. Like I, you are getting elbowed in the face. What? All right, so I want to understand, like, how does someone, like, I'm not sure where your background. I mean, okay, I know a little bit. You've been in contact sports since you were slightly younger, but how does one counter that? So how did you counter that? To be very honest, like, or was that fear never in your mind that I will get hit, because that is the harsh reality of a sport like MMA.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I understand. So there is this one thing that I keep seeing every day. Okay, this face I have. Okay, I look at it every day, and I'm like, dude, this pretty face cannot get hurt. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, no, it's not that. It's just that I understood that you have to go back to your basics. And once you, so it's all about progressions, right? Fear is developed or fear is generated where? Fear is generated if you don't know the outcome of something. A lot of people say, right, the devil that I know is better than the devil that I don't. So, I mean, it's not, very true, but devil that you don't also know might be like the greatest thing. Like once, like when you're actually like able to let go of that guy's hand, you actually have an entire portion you can hit wherever, and that guy has to get knocked out because he's in a very pathetic position. His chin, his temple, a lot of things are open. So I'm saying that it's all about practicing these small, 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 small drills, and every day, whatever you think you're not good at, practice that every day more than other people, and the fear goes away. Maybe it takes one day, maybe it takes 1 month, maybe it takes 1 year, maybe it takes 6 years. But after that, you're an unbeatable force. I know that if I give my entire time to fighting, for sure I'm going to reach the levels that other people might not be able to reach so easily. Because I know it's not about just belief. I know the way I coordinate my drills and the way I mix my boxing with jiu-jitsu. I'm flying somewhere and then I'm suddenly like taking someone down. And it's about this understanding of actual mixed martial arts. But also with this, I've understood that impact takes time. And I can go and like save up all the money I have, with however I'm earning with my trainings and everything, and just put it on myself and just go, get out. But this takes, I mean, I don't know, like I don't know, it's my big heart, or I don't know, my impact, or I don't know what it is, but this is my calling, I feel. So even coming back to your question, fear is, yes, a big part of everyone's life. I've also gotten hit a lot in like different fights and all, but you still see this pretty face, right? So yeah, it's all because you have to learn, go back to your basics. You get hit, you get out of the situation. If I'm like a very egoistic fighter, and I'm like, okay, you hit me, I'll hit you twice, then he'll hit me 3 times and I'll hit him 4 times, blah blah blah. It'll just be an exchange battle. It'll be a scramble and it's pathetic. Maybe it's very beautiful also to watch, but at the end of the day, like, yeah.
Which is
So yeah,
very
that's about
interesting.
it.
Which is very interesting that you mentioned it. Now I think about two fighters from American top team only who are like on opposite poles of the spectrum. I talk about Yoel Romero, who hates to get hit, so he evades everything. So he's very,
Yeah.
very, very careful and always is thinking of his next move. And on the other end, Dustin Poirier, who's looking for a fight. So, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you're so right. Like everyone's style is so different. So I guess it's very important. But one thing is common between both of them. They have no fear, of course. And that's why they've made it to the top. And that's why they are where they are at. Mohit, one more thing now. I mean, you've done karate, you've done judo, taekwondo, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, of course, Muay Thai, and wrestling. You're certified in so many different forms of combat sports, so to speak. What do you think was the main differentiator amongst all of these types of art forms that you've learned that really made you realize that, okay, I am good enough or ready to fight in the MMA rather than just sticking to, let's say, one particular domain?
Um, Damn good question, because I usually feel this thing about myself in any aspect. I just connected to my personal self. I would not want to restrict my learning, my application of my martial art in a particular way. And maybe it's because of all the philosophy I've read with martial arts, or this and that. But it's just about understanding that if I'm only damn good at boxing, okay, I might reach Mayweather levels or something. But it's also about Mayweather can never enter MMA, or maybe Mayweather can never enter jiu-jitsu, because just that skill is only not there. So if I'm learning those skills, I need to apply it. And the transition to MMA and then coming back to one sport, like, see, even if it's McGregor, even if it's Gracie, or even so many other guys, even this guy who's pretty, I think he's 30 something, Bellator champion, he is Lovato. Okay, superb jiu-jitsu guy. Okay, one of the most deadliest guy in jiu-jitsu. So that guy comes back to his jiu-jitsu because that's his heart, that's his love. But he's fucking like crazy in MMA. Bellator, I think number one again. He's number one only in his division. But also, like, talking about him, or even like any other transition, you can always go back to your roots. Like, for example, I personally love jiu-jitsu a lot, so I might be fighting in ADCC later, or like some other championships here or there. Or when I was like a little younger, I loved kickboxing more than like anything, more than boxing, more than only taekwondo or karate. I love kickboxing because the way you could reach and like fly around and be a little fancy and all this, I loved all that. But now understanding jiu-jitsu at a personal level, that, man, it feels like a superpower. Okay, like, you don't know the guy standing next to you. I look so thin compared to like someone like double, triple my size, but the way I can choke them out or give a triangular choke in a random fashion, it's scary. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm saying that any decent, jiu-jitsu fighter, because you don't know, right? You don't know how they can turn up, do some roll somewhere, and like just land up behind you. And that's the thing. So I want to understand this and give it to my guys also. Like, this one kid I got, he was similar to me. Okay, like, beautiful guy, beautiful 18-year-old kid, fighting nice and all. And he was like, this happened with me the moment I started doing MMA. In 2 months, my coach was like, yeah, I think you're ready, you start fighting, bro. I was like, what? I was like, okay, awesome. And I went, kicked ass and everything, came back. So this guy, I saw a little bit, like a lot of myself in him. So I was like, okay, I think you're really good. I don't take this with other people who are training since 1-2 years and all, but I think you're damn good. It's been 2 months. I think you should do it. He did it and he came second in like some state level championship and all. So I was like super happy. And last also, like the finals also, when he lost with like just 1 point. So I was like super proud. I was like, super, okay, dad moment. But the why I appreciated him fighting, or me, or what, because he applied everything that I was telling him, the way to give a takedown, the way to retract, or just keep the fight up in the air, tire that guy out, and low kicks and stuff like that. Everything, like, overall, that's I think I would call like my beauty when I'm fighting, or when I want to teach MMA, mixed martial arts. But yeah, I can always go back to something like boxing later, or like, see, McGregor loves boxing more. Maybe he wants to make more money with Mayweather again. You never know.
So, Mohit, you spoke about this transition and all of that, but how many MMA clinics are there in Mumbai or in India that are actually up to a certain level?
So this
So,
Cage
yeah,
Warriors owner is forgot Gram, not, yeah. So very nice guy, and he has started this MMA clinic. So it's really famous, one of the best academies if you want to get into Cage Warriors or any other pro fighting league and everything. And MMA clinic was actually a very game changing moment for me, because I learned decent thing on boxing and this and that. The moment I entered there, I felt like I didn't know anything, you know. And the way they coach me, and Shane, their striking coach, has become one of my damn good friends. And he's like, I respect him so much. Like, he was actually the one when I was 21, I was training for, I think, Asian Championship there or something. And he comes up to me and he's like, Mohit, I think you're a pretty good fighter, but I think you'll be a better coach. And I was like this ego, in me about this fighting that I want to do and this and that, and self and everything. And I was like, okay, I mean, Shane, I mean, are you just saying that because, like it's going to be like merciless over there when I'm going to Russia and all? I just trying to like save my ass. What is this? So he's like, no, Mohit, I'm telling you, your potential is really good, but I think you'll be a mad coach. And I didn't listen to him then. And I was 21. Few years later, I'm like, okay, Shane, hi, it was amazing. But it's beautiful how like that's what like see like now as a coach now how much reading I'm doing, how much I'm teaching. I can just see some students and come to know what your strengths, weaknesses are, etc., etc. You know, so it's just about that understanding and taking some small snippets. And in India, there are here and there academies which are really coming up. People are still trying to teach really good martial arts. I wouldn't want to name a lot. You can obviously like find that out. But I have done that. Okay, like I don't know if you've heard about this YouTube channel called BJJ Police. Okay, this
Yeah.
bunch of people they go and they. So I use that tactic, and I went randomly to one person who was teaching Wing Chun, one other person who was teaching Sambo, one other person who was teaching but this other I think some different type of martial arts was I forgot. So I entered. I was like, sir, मेरे को कुछ आता नहीं है and all. I'm just like fit and all. I play football. So he was like, okay, come. And the way he was teaching me rear naked choke, man, I was like, wow, okay, I need to start teaching people. you know. And this was like a few years back. And I was like, no, no, no. I had done a lot of research on where the level of MMA is here. It's like there somewhere. And the potential is there, but you just can't match it because so many students like me or like so many others who come to my academy or go to other academies, they are searching for a part of themselves which they have lost or they've never found or something. It's so personal to them, and these bloody idiot coaches just want to make money or maybe they want to make ends meet. I fully respect what they're doing, but don't teach rubbish. No, teach what you know and teach it right and keep learning yourself. I read so much about what I'm teaching. That's why all my students, whoever was there 3 years back, 5 years back, they're still there. And they've grown, they've become beautiful just because they see my commitment towards them and their commitments towards me, I see. And that's about it. I want to see more and more martial arts people coming up. See, even okay, one of the only things that even UFC has seen in India. Okay, UFC tried entering India so many years back. Okay, so many Anderson Silva ke time pe when he was in his prime, they didn't come because India's are fucking idiots. You know. And apart from that, now they are coming back to India with what? Gym, UFC gym, UFC gym, UFC gym. Why? Because they understood इंडिया में टैलेंट नहीं है इंडिया को सिर्फ बॉडी बनाना है जिम करना है and I'm like, no, man, there is like so much more India has to offer, but everything is hidden. I'm not even kidding. It's such a sorry, it's such a crazy feel, like a gully boy feeling I'm getting right now. Where we know that we have so much of talent around, but we just can't like put it all together because the people who are really like focused and talented or hardworking, they are running in different directions. And people, who just don't care, who are just not motivated, they are paying a bomb and going to all these other fancy gyms and this and that. That's why I've made a policy in my gym. Whoever is good for whatever they're coming, they need to take an interview with me. And then they need to take an interview with my assistant coach. Then they become my student. Because it's not like a client. I have no clients. I have only students. Only people who are focused. There's a purpose they're coming with, and they will achieve it for sure. For sure, they'll achieve it. Because I know I'm going to give my 100%. And they'll be my student only if they're giving 100%. So that's about it. We'll make ends meet. So sorry I deviated from the question, but
No, no,
but then
no,
that
but
was
that's the point of asking that question was, I mean, now it comes across even more beautifully, right? Your philosophy behind opening a gym where you teach. It's not
hmm,
a gym where you are coming specifically for your goals only. Your goals have to match what you are also. I mean, it's you said it right. It has to be a unison in terms of what you can do and what they want to do, and what they can do and what you want to do with them. So that's about it. Like I think we got like a superb takeaway of your philosophy on why you want to do this. Um, okay, Mohit. Now, of course, you are opening up a gym, you already have students, but to everyone who is listening or watching us right now, what would you say is like like super key thing you would be looking for, in the sense that um, when you say that someone has to match a job profile, I don't want to put
Hmm.
it in that sense, but what
Yeah.
do you look for in someone who's wanting to learn, not wanting to fight, but wanting to learn? What is that one thing you really look for?
So, okay, with this podcast that we all are doing. I mean, I know Mazhar since a while, but you don't know me, and we are talking here, and you can see only one thing in me right now, which is authenticity. Okay, the legitness of what I'm doing. I practice what I preach. That's why if I have a 6 o'clock client, I'm waking up at 4:30, doing training before them, basics. Okay, whatever I need to do, maybe it's morning stretching routine, morning mobility routine, etc., etc. And I do it, and I'm ready by 5:50, and everything is set up, and I'm good to go. And then I start teaching, and I'm just busy till the entire day. This is what I want in the student. That's it. If someone comes randomly and they're like, "Sir, we are paying you this amount of money," I'm like, "Yeah, okay, please go." There are thousands of academy that will take you. People have reversed the idea of how it should be with a student and a teacher. It's very different now. Right now it's more of paisa fake tamasha dekh sort of situation, and it will take me a long time to make this impact, where people start understanding, okay, I am going there for my betterment, my purpose. What is my purpose? It may be weight loss. What is my purpose? It may be becoming a beautiful fighter, maybe like getting ripped, getting better biceps, etc., etc. People all come in with different reasons, with maybe like a lot of like fancy like physical reasons. Okay, but they understand because I connect them to the different parts of their mind and body coordination, if they need yoga or how they need yoga, how much of boxing do they need. This one kid, he just joined my academy, and he was like, I just want to do boxing. And I was like, superb, you'll get only boxing. Why do you want to do only boxing? He said, I love the sport, I love this, I love that, I want to make myself better because I love the hand speed, everything. And I said, okay, superb, superb, we'll do this, we'll do that. Then I asked him, why don't you want to do MMA? And he's like, because I'm scared of getting hit. I said, you don't think you'll get hit in boxing? Oh, what? He's like, yeah, that's fine. But there's still a guard in boxing, in amateur boxing. And in MMA, it's like, you're getting hammered. I saw some videos of UFC, people are bleeding and all. So I said, listen, you look at me, okay? Don't worry. It depends on fighter to fighter. And even if you're doing MMA, I'm not going to say, chuck you in a fight in the next 2 months or 3 months and say, like, listen, go fight. You're good. No, you're going to take your time. It's going to be very different. And this has been 1 month back. In 1 month, now after a while, I'm going to be putting him on the bags. He's still not reached the place where he can like go on the bags and start, because every other place, first class you go, chalo padding karte hai. No, you idiot. You have to teach them ABCD first, then go to XYZ. No, but so much of education. So yeah, I mean, I just want authenticity in like this. People need to understand that I'm coming for a purpose.
I think that pretty
Mazhar.
much summarizes exactly what we wanted to cover, Mohit. Now, the main thing is for all those who are listening and watching, Mohit runs, as you all know now, he runs an MMA academy. It's called Whole 9 Yards. He's launching an even bigger gym now in Mumbai. So we will share his description below. You can always contact him or even us for that matter if you want to get in touch with Mohit. And I can vouch for him as not only a trainer, as just great company to be with. He's truly dedicated in whatever he does. I know other stories, backstories, which he hasn't discussed about non-fighting related as well, but in general, a very focused soul. So if you are looking to fight the right way or just want to learn self-defense also for that matter, or just are trying to, like he said, get ripped or become fitter, do check out Whole 9 Yards. Like I said, the description will be shared below. Thank you so much, Mohit, for your time. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks a lot.
I'm looking forward to visiting your gym with the rest of the crew, and we'll see you very soon. Everyone else
Super.
who
Thanks, Mohit.
like, share, subscribe, comment, follow Mohit's page as well, follow All About Sports, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.